actually coming into a partnership, a legal partnership with someone, anyone that you don't maybe have even a relationship with, like a marriage. And even then it can be tumultuous. But just talk about the decision. You were an entrepreneur. You were doing sounds like everything on your own.
Yeah.
And now you come into a fold and come into a family that, or at least a partnership that became a family. Was there hesitancy to do that in the beginning? What were kind of the fears or the hesitancies, and then why did you ultimately do it?
Yeah, it was definitely a process. When this all started, I still had my lending company, right? I fund private lending. And, I saw this as an opportunity to be able to do more loans. That was kind of like what sparked the whole idea, right? But I saw what Peter and Julie were doing. I was like, I'm interested in this. And I did something that I've never done before. And that is that I called them and I said, hey guys, I really like what you guys are doing. Let's try to work together. I'm going to work for free for you guys for the next few months, and let's see how it goes. Right. And I focused on low hanging fruit, just looking, because that's kind of where you optimize, right? I was like, okay, where can I have the greatest impact for them? Right. And in the process, we'll get to know each other and stuff like that. So I jumped onto their Google AdWords account and optimized their accounts, and we were able to reduce our cost per lead. At that moment in time at Google, they were spending like $100 a lead, which was crazy. And we were able to bring it down to shy of $20 a lead, which is still high, but we had some success to build upon, right? And I was able to give them enough fuel to be able to begin to work out their kinks in their process, right? Once we did that, and we started without having like any hooks into each other, it was just like, hey, let's just try this out, right? It became really clear for us that there was something really special in the group. And even then, it was still really hard for me to make the choice to join in a partnership. And I've shared with Peter and Julia this as well. It's kind of, you get stuck wanting to do everything on your own. Part of my brain, when it's like, well, but if I do this with them, I'm not going to be 100% owner of the company, right? And it was my wife who counseled me, and she's like, Rafa, there's magic here. You guys get along so well. You guys have been able to do so much already, and there's so much more to be done. Like if we were to focus 100% on just one thing and be able to have a team to support us, I mean, like this would be a win-win for everybody, right? And, after really kind of digging into it and really thinking about it, it became absolutely clear. And number one, I can't do anything. I can't do it by myself. I already had known that. It's crazy. I've been an entrepreneur for 20 years. It's taken me 20 years to realize that I can only grow so far, right? And because we weren't just doing a business, we were building a culture from the get-go. It became different. In other words, instead of business partners, it was kind of like we were co-parents. And I know that's a little bit of an interesting twist, but as co-parents,
you're trying to raise this thing up.
We're trying to raise these folks up. And that really kind of changed the tone of everything. So it's not that we're business partners, we're co-parenting a community, right? And we're co-building a community. And when we kind of like approached it in that way, that changed everything. That was about 3 years ago when we made that final decision. And they afforded me the opportunity to stop chasing all the last things I was doing, because I had clients, I had my own other businesses, I had just so many different other things, right? And just say, okay, I'm gonna only focus here, and how do I grow this, 100% year over year, right? Which has been our goal over the last 3 years, and we've been able to do.
I want to highlight two things that you said, and I've been a Gary V fanatic since probably 2014. Somewhere up here, I got all of his books. Just huge fan of his, always have been. And I want to highlight two things you just said that are so Gary V. And I don't know if that's where you got it from or whatever. But one thing you said was you went to work for him for free. You went to work for Julie and Peter for free. Why did you do that?
I saw an opportunity. At that point, I had that lending company, and I was like, if there was a way, if I truly believed in the partner model. I was like, there's all these funds available. There's all these great properties out there, and these people are finding the properties. They're getting them under contract. They just don't know what to do with it afterwards, right? And I had read it myself. I think it was in Rich Dad Poor Dad. I think it's where I picked up on it, right? And that was basically, just throw yourself into opportunity for free until you figure out where the money's at, right? And that was the driver. I was like, if anything, I can get a client out of this. If not, there could be a whole new business that's born from this.
Yeah. Was that what it was though, Rafa? Was it more like, I want to work for you for free, and then if I do a good job, I'll get a client that really knows what they're doing. They're doing it well.
It was a blend of both. That was definitely, I would say that would have been plan B. I was clear that plan A was that there was a huge underserved opportunity from a messaging perspective and from a process perspective, what we can do with the partner work.
So this is, I just want to highlight this a little bit more, because you did your homework. You realized who these people were, what they were doing, and you found the gap in what they were doing, and you approached them. So many times, and I made a video about this recently, but so many times people say the phrase, if there's ever anything I can do for you, let me know.
Mm-hmm.
And it's become almost like a colloquialism. Like everybody says it and we don't even know that we're saying it. We just say it. But what you did is what people should do. Don't just say, if there's ever anything I can do for you, let me know. Actually, you do the work. You do the work and find out what it is that you can do for them. Because if you really cared, or if you really felt like there was an opportunity there, then you'll put the onus on you to find out what they need. And if it fits your skill level, then go and provide that for them. And then giving them that value of what you recognize, you were listening, you were paying attention, you were doing the research, you put in the effort, you put in the work, and then you approach them with a no-lose situation.
That's right. And frankly, it's the theory behind how partner-driven, how we approach it with our partners as well, our coaching partners, our students. We look at it the exact same way. It's like, what have we not done up to today? Right? That's how we decided to build our own software. That's how we decided to build our own, like, a CRM system for our folks. What can we do for them that they're not getting yet, right? And it's a win-win every time. It really is.
No, we're going to go. I want to point out the second thing, and then we're going to go. The second thing you said, this again is so Gary V, and he says this so much. A lot of times as the owner, the solopreneur, and you said 20 years, you were doing it for 20 years. And I've been in it for, 8, 9, 10 years. And I'm starting to see a lot of the limitations that I have. But Gary V would say that not everyone is cut out to be a number one. There's some phenomenal, like, you don't even know who the number 7, the number 20 at Facebook is a multi-millionaire. And not everyone is cut out to be a number one, the main person in charge. But most of us, real estate's a funny thing too, because I think and this is my opinion, this is something I've gathered over the years, that just take your coaching students, for instance, Rafa. Most of those people, before they started coming into your program, would not consider themselves to be entrepreneurial. They're not number ones. Now, some of them, the few, might be like, hey, I identified my calling. I am a number one, a few. But most people, they're not a number one. They just went out and they did a deal and they made some money and it changed their life. And now they're doing it a lot, but they don't have it in them to be a CEO of a big company, to run a big company. Most of us are not. Real estate is interesting because a lot of us come in from coaching programs, from working a 9 to 5. We were never entrepreneurial to begin with. Yeah. And now we're forced to be a number one when most of us are not number ones. And I just want to kind of highlight that you, and I'm not sitting here saying you're not a number one, like the person, but you have hit your stride, it sounds like, as being a number two and being a number three.
There's no question that being able to step into a role to support others is a powerful role, right? And when I made that shift, it's like, I'm not the number one. I want to be like, what I do is it can support a business. It can support our partners. It can support our coaching students. I need to focus on that because that's what the greatest impact that I can have. And when I did that, and I realized that, then I realized all the support that I was missing, all the support that comes back the other way. Right? Having a Peter Vexelman as your business partner is pretty freaking motivating. I can tell you. We wake up, we're on the phone at 6 a.m. in the morning, and it's amazing to have him as a coach for me. We're like, okay, well, Rafa, where do you need to focus today? Right? To have a Julie, who's one of the best team builders that I've ever met, to be coaching me and teaching me, and I'm learning from her how to build a team. Right? These are things that I haven't learned on my own, and I'm not going to learn on my own. I need to learn it from somebody else.
Rafa, I just want to highlight all that and just kind of confirm what a lot of people probably already know intuitively, but just to kind of confirm inside of a lot of you guys that might be watching this or listening to this, that it's okay to be a number two. It's okay to be a number three, and you can make way more money. You can be way happier, and you can be a part of a great team.
Yeah.
When you consider that with, obviously the right opportunity.
Yeah. Hindsight 2020. I love being part of a team. Being a team is there's a final level that you don't get to hear about much. It's the feeling of fulfillment that comes when you and a group of people accomplish something together. And that is worth more than anything else. It's like, it's magic. It inspires us to what we're going to do tomorrow, and to face all the challenges that we face as entrepreneurs, because we feel that fulfillment of accomplishing together.